If you were to rate the football season on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say it went?
Last year's?
Yeah, most most recent season.
8.5.
8.5. Why would you say that, like, regarding the ups and downs throughout the season?
Because I like how the team interacted, just like what we did. We had a lot of people involved. We had a lot of people contribute. We had a lot of people know their roles, embrace those roles, and go do what they were asked to do. Maybe it wasn't exactly what they thought they wanted to do, but it's what the team needed them to do. And you guys did that without a lot of complaints. And that was why we were successful.
Yeah. And in your eyes, who would you say stood out the most and who had the most progress?
Who stood out the most?
Yeah.
I mean, stat-wise, it was Nolan, but it's a team game. Everybody's worried about Nolan because of the yards and all that. Who stood out the most? Another would be probably Lane Pesca, just the way he runs the defense. The mental, like he just has to grasp what we're trying to do. And then progress would be Dallas Sherman, who I know for a fact wasn't even planning on playing much varsity last year. Ended up being the starting center for the top-ranked offense in the state of Iowa. So those would be the names that come to mind.
And for this next upcoming season, what are your goals for the team?
My goals for the team are to get you guys to understand exactly how good you are. Because once we do that, everything else can take care of itself. I don't care. I don't say I don't care, but obviously, I'm not worried about championships and trophies because those take care of themselves if you do the right things the way they're supposed to do. If you guys really decide this is what we're going to do, this is how good we can do it, then you're going to realize what your potential is, and that's my goal. That you guys realize your potential, and if we realize that potential, we're going to do some great things.
Thank you.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the most recent football season?
I would rate it as a 8.5. We fell a little short of our goals, but overall, very happy with the season.
Yeah. And throughout the season, what were the most prominent ups and downs?
I think the most prominent ups were just how dominant we were, and beating Waco by the margin that we did was pretty impressive. The down, obviously, I think was the loss to Belle Plaine. I think they were a little bit more physical than us, and we didn't quite step up to the physicality of Belle Plaine had that night.
Yeah. Stat-wise or non-stat-wise, it doesn't matter. You can do both, but to you, who stood out the most or had the most progress based off their expectations?
Just stat-wise alone, obviously, I think what Nolan Kriegel did, kind of with all his records in the state. So that was something that really stood out. And then just kind of non-stat-wise, the development of the younger kids, the sophomore, the freshman class, and the way some of those kids stepped up to help out.
And in your eyes, what would you say your goals or the team goals are for this upcoming season?
For me, at least personally, I think we can get to the playoffs. That's obvious. We should get to the playoffs, but getting to the Dome, I think, is well within reach. And then once we get there, let the chips fly. And what was the second part of the question?
Team goals or...
Team goals. I think team goals should be, win the district again. get everybody on that all conference or all district team again, and then make it to state, make it to the dome.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, with an 8-2 record, we did pretty good throughout the season. What would you say were like the ups and downs throughout the season, though?
I'd say the biggest up was just like dominating throughout the beginning of the season and beating Winfield Mount Union. I feel like that was a big up.
Yeah.
One of our like biggest downs though was losing to Belle Plaine at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'd agree. There was a pretty big like down game. We underperformed like greatly.
Which they were a good team, but
Yeah, they were good. I believe they brought the physicality to us. That was one of the games where we weren't as physical as the opponents. But, and in your eyes, who would you say stood out the most throughout the season? And this can be like stat-wise or like based off expectation-wise.
I'd definitely say Chance Hoyt.
Chance Hoyt, yeah.
Chance Hoyt, especially, I mean, so early in the season he made a huge difference, and then when he got injured, it was like completely evident that there was like a missing piece to our team when he was off the field. Then when he came back, it was just complete.
Yeah, there was I don't know, there was a lot of mixed thoughts going into that Waco game without Chance fully healed yet, because that's like a really key role on our team not being there. But when he came in at halftime, it was like he was brand new. It was really good.
Yeah.
And he ended that game with like almost 12 tackles, I think, just in one half. And what would you say are your goals for this next upcoming season? You can your goals and then like team goals as a whole.
My goals, I want to start defensively.
Yeah.
So my goals, just like starting defensively, being one of those like bigger team aspects for Iowa Valley, and the team goal, just keep making it farther in the playoffs
Yeah.
and possibly make it to the Dome this year.
That'd be great. I think not guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed, but
Obviously,
with
yeah.
our continuing dominance, I believe we can make third round, if not make the Dome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So, in your eyes, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did the most recent football season go?
Oh, geez. I'd say a 9.
Yeah.
I thought we did really well, and I think a lot of people were counting us out just because we were so young, and we exceeded expectations, and I just think we all knew we fell short a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say a 9 overall.
And throughout the season, what would you say were the most prominent ups and downs?
Oh, well, as an offensive line coach, Dallas Sherman stepping up and taking that center position so Mason could go play guard was huge. And just Caleb figuring out that he was a dominant defensive lineman helped too, just with some depth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everybody did well and stepped up and played their role really well.
And not stat-wise, but who would you say stood out the most as in, like, exceeding their expectation as an individual?
At the varsity level, I'm going to go with Lane Pesca because that kid, I mean, he was basically the quarterback of the defense, and he learned like 4 positions on offense, so he had a lot to take in, and I thought he did a really good job with that. I'm going to give the whole offensive line credit because, I mean, we had our base stuff, but as Sobers would know, it changed week to week what we did. Yeah, asterisk offense, but I mean they adapted and did. And then JV level, I thought Xavier got better as the year went on. Caleb Eldridge got better as the year went on. Caleb Huber did. Everybody got better as the year went on, and that's what you want.
And then, in your eyes, what are the goals for the next upcoming season? Like, what do you expect out of them?
Continued dominance. Those first 3 games will be a big test for us, see where we are. But I don't want to get into that just because, I mean, everybody wants to go to the Dome, right? Everybody wants to. So I think, obviously, that's a goal. But
yeah,
we take it week by week.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I live week by week.
season go the way you wanted it to?
For my first year as head coach, yeah. I mean, there were ups and downs, but there were a lot more ups. And my biggest goal of the year, we didn't really, this has been how it is even when I was assistant, we don't really know how to, like, we didn't know how to play it, like, not play as a team, but, like, mingle well together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, in the past, it was get it to your best player and just hopefully you can make a play. But I wanted them to realize that they all have a role on their team, on the team. And I thought everybody filled their role well, and they really grew playing. Like, they loved playing together, and that was my goal. We'd go 0-21. I don't care. I mean, obviously I want to win, but if we go 0-21 and we play as a team and just have fun, that's what really matters.
Yeah. And this can be stat-wise or non-stat-wise, but who stood out to you the most?
So stat-wise, it'll be Caleb because he led us in almost every category. But I'm going to give Lane Pesca props for his defense, and he got the best matchup every night, whether the guy was a 6'5" guard or a little 5'10" guard like Brady Bolton. I mean, the kid works his butt off on defense. He has a motor that doesn't stop. Owen Airy battled as an undersized post. Elijah Lilly gets a lot of credit too. That last 3 weeks of the year, I was kind of worried. It was like we didn't have a backup big in case Caleb got into foul trouble, and he really stepped up. I was really proud of him. And just overall, JV varsity, everybody just got better every practice. You could tell that from the first practice.
And your expectations for the next season, what does that look like?
Well, finished 12-11 this year. I mean, we had a lot of close losses, and eventually that'll pay in our favor. So I don't see why we can't finish top 3 in the conference. We lose 2 seniors, but we return everybody else. We even gained some people, Manny. I think like kind of like football, it's going to take week by week, but there's goals that we have, and I think that a conference championship is possible. We just got to play how we play, and I think we'll be fine. I think that's the overall goal. But
yeah, thank you. So, how would you rate the most recent wrestling season?
Am I rating it 1 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I would rate it a 7. Because I feel like our numbers were good. I feel like we had a lot of success in the postseason as far as being conference dual champs and conference team champs at the individual tournament. And getting 3 state qualifiers is good. I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement as far as getting more through districts and continuing to improve in other aspects.
Mm-hmm. Who would you say stood out to you the most, and why?
Well, are we talking about like their individual success, or are we talking about the personalities in the practice room? Because if we're going off the personalities in the practice room, I had 2 individuals that destroyed my practice, Matt. They said that it was their, what was it? Do you remember what it was called?
Was it their pasture?
It was their pasture, yeah. So they were acting like farm animals that they tore up the wrestling mat. So as far as individuals that grew the most, I would say Manny Pritchard and Lane Qualley possibly did as far as entertainment purposes. As far as skill-wise, I think that Mason Hoyt and Chance Hoyt probably grew the most as far as getting over the hump at districts, and then winning 3 matches up at the state tournament was a really big success for both of them. So,
what does next year's season look like for you?
Well, next year's season, how it looks like for me is I'll be turned 44 years old. I'll have a daughter in high school, and I'll have my son on the team. What else, maybe? Oh, you mean like how's the team gonna look?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. We have a lot of good kids coming back, and I'm not saying good kids as far as just talent. It's good kids in general. A lot of fun kids to be around who have the same goal to make each other better and to work their tails off to reach their goals. So I'm really excited for the numbers that we have coming back and the talent we have coming back and the kids that we're going to have in the room. Also, I have another individual that truly does enjoy the music that I play during the practice. Manny Pritchard thinks that I'm the best DJ there is. This has to go in your report. He thinks that I'm the best DJ in any wrestling room ever. And he'll listen to any song I play without complaining next year. He said it.